Hi, Ronnie.
Hi, everyone.
Hi, everyone.
Hello.
Hi,
Hi, Gina.
Carolyn.
Hi, Lynn. Haven't seen you in a while. How are
I
you?
know. Hey, I have to thank you for sending me to BZA members.
Oh, yeah. I'll pat myself on the back. That was pretty good.
Please pat yourself on the back because we were down a couple of people for quite a while. So thank you.
You know,
one
we
of them
also-
didn't. One of them didn't make it last night because she got mixed up about when the meeting was, but the other one came.
Okay.
Who came last night? Marcy came last night.
Excellent.
Good. Yeah.
I'm
So-
also sending you my youngest son every Sunday. He's now volunteering at Reuse every Sunday.
Oh, that's great. Good.
Okay, I'm just sharing my screen. I will also share the, excuse me, I will also share the natural resources inventory when we start talking about that, but we'll go through this list pretty quickly. I wanted to highlight the fact that I'm in the process of documenting the Tompkins County recycling food waste drop off. I find having a hard time finding when it actually started, so I'm trying to find the meeting minutes where it was discussed and see if there's a resolution of any sort. So I'm in the process of collecting that together. And the solar permit, I think, is still being discussed, but it's getting much closer to being approved by the planning board. And it possibly will be, we will probably have to do a resolution to approve it by the Board of Trustees, because it may, if it goes into our law, it will also be approved at that point. So let's see. We have our first meeting of the Safe Streets for All grant for the Safe Streets for All planning committee that will help find a grant writing contractor to help us write our plan for that we will use as evidence for planning infrastructure for bicycling and walking. It's part of that, definitely. The NRI, the Natural Resources Inventory, we'll get to in a second. The other thing I want to bring up is that Agnes had pointed me to Agnes Guillo, I believe. Guillo, I will say an Americanized, but I think it's Guillo. Pointed me to an Avangrid contact person that will give us 5 completed contracts of information for 5 completed contracts for submission to NYSERDA, and with that will help us meet this particular goal. I had to submit an email request to their Avangrid's legal department to get the actual contract information about residents and so forth, who that's with. And once they approve that and send it to me, then we will have the evidence to submit. So we're making progress on those fronts. So let me close this. I'm going to stop this share and we'll get to the natural resources inventory. Oh, but before we do that, are there any questions about what I just covered?
So just, Ronnie, whenever you get those 5 names, we can just schedule a short meeting and we can submit it.
Okay. All right. I will do that. I'm just waiting for them to get back to me. Legal departments are notorious about taking their time. So
actually, I don't even think we need their names, just the addresses, just to prove that they're
just the addresses.
village.
Okay. Yeah, that's considered personal information, and I don't think they want to release that. If they do give us the names, we just won't use the names. We'll only use the addresses.
That's good.
Okay. All right. Let me stop this share, and I'll share my NRI. Check this. Okay. Can you all see that all right? top. I don't know if you can see that, but I had to move my Zoom bar away. So this is pretty much the document, and it's showing what comments Rachel had provided in her draft, and then I've added some comments as I went through, and we can kind of go through page by page, and if you find anything, let me know, and I will add a comment onto this page. So the first comment is this information to be added, I provided over in this comment. Yeah, I think that's everyone so far that had participated in that. And the executive.
I'm really annoyed, Ronnie, because I went through the whole thing and I made some comments. And then I apparently deleted it.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah. So I have just the clean copy that Rachel sent with her comments. But I'll go
Okay.
through it again. I had a
If
couple
you-
of just very small things. It wasn't anything major.
Just to be sure, confirm that. Can you look at it electronically right now?
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now.
Okay, if you go up to the review tab and go into this bar that says show comments and click on that. And then also actually click on it and it will show the comments. You might also have to do within track changes, a simple markup or all markup to see the comments. They may be there, but they just may not be displayed. I'll let you try that for a second.
Yeah,
before we go.
I'm looking. And it immediately stuck in a comment for me that makes no sense whatsoever. But I'm not seeing any other comments on
Okay.
here. I'm looking down
Okay.
the side and I don't see anything. So
Things
I'm
things
just-
like that happen to me within
yeah,
Word
yeah.
occasionally.
I
so
had
I'm
I had two
sorry.
versions and I just got rid of the wrong one. So that was
Okay.
silly. Anyway,
Yes,
yeah.
sounds vaguely familiar.
Ah,
Okay, well, if you remember them, just bring them up. We'll go through page by page. We'll try to
Yeah.
go through pretty quickly, so I won't take up too much time. The executive summary, which was originally going to be written by Rachel, but we'll have to find out from Guillermo if he or someone else from CCE will be doing that. The one Rachel had sent me a copy of Caroline's natural resources inventory as an example, but it didn't have an executive summary at all. So it wasn't very helpful. I was going to say, well, if I can kind of get a feel for what it's going to say, we can come up with something, and we can anyway, but that would be a good model to follow.
Is it required? I mean, this document seems pretty complete on its own.
Yeah,
Call it a day?
it might not be it required. I think it's just if someone who didn't want to read the whole thing wanted a quick summary, of course, that's what it is. So it might be valuable for a new reader of the document, but it may not be necessary. And as a matter of fact, let me just say this.
Ronnie, who do you anticipate reading this document?
Future boards, commissions, committees, I'm sorry, or if we're going to rewrite or revise our
Comprehensive plan?
yes, comprehensive plan. Thank you. They might want to read this because it lists all the natural resources and things that should be protected, and that's who I would foresee reading and using this.
Okay, I would argue that they don't need a summary because if they're rewriting the comprehensive plan, they should probably look at the whole document.
Yeah. So if it can be removed, then
on the other hand, there might be someone in the village who's looking at developing their land or wants to add on, wants to do something on their property. And thinks to consult the natural resource inventory before proceeding, which I wish more people would do, but.
Yeah, that's a good point. I didn't even think about that. But
Maybe
yeah,
a
they
summary
might.
would be helpful.
Yeah, we'll see if we have to write it. I think that we can probably come up with something pretty quickly. There's just, we could have an outline with the table of contents, and we could determine what is appropriate for the executive summary, a sentence or two per section. But it wouldn't be that hard, I don't think. I just want to make sure that there's not a specific model to follow for their other natural resources inventory. But since one example I was given didn't even have one, maybe we don't have to have one either. Okay, we're moving on to the pages aren't numbered. I guess we'll just go by the page number that's down here at the bottom. And it's not even showing. Oh,
Yeah,
there it
that
is.
was one of
Page
my
4.
comments. That
No
there were
page numbers?
There were no page numbers.
Okay,
So scrolling through it was, there might be, if, whatever platform you're using to review the document might have page numbers, but they should have page numbers on
yes.
the pages.
They normally they would be, and I can put them in this document, but for tonight, I'm not sure it would be helpful.
Don't worry about it.
Because your copies wouldn't have it. So
Right.
the introduction page, did anyone have anything on the introduction page? Most of this was pretty comprehensive and well written. I didn't see any reason to change it. Okay, we're moving to the next page, Village of Lansing page. Climate change.
I'll just say globally that I read the whole document and I didn't have any comments. So
Okay,
I still don't have any comments.
okay. Well, you'll see my view and you can say, oh yeah, well, I agree or disagree. But yeah, there are a few things in here, but they very much like you, Carolyn, I didn't have anything major.
I didn't have anything major either.
Okay,
They've covered a lot of all the basics as far as I could tell.
okay. Addressing climate change.
I thought that was a
Previous-
really good addition to
Yeah,
have in there because that
mhm,
is affecting the village already. And
Yes.
will continue to.
yeah, it makes a big dent and it actually
Yeah.
makes a big dent. I was talking with the DPW staff today and it makes a big dent in what they have to deal with because many times they have to deal with like if there's a severe rain event all of a sudden and their ditches, debris will get washed into a ditch or a culvert and block it and they have to go deal with that as an emergency basis.
Right, and it also means, a big bump up in DPW expenditures for upsizing the culverts, because
Yeah.
that's a big problem throughout Tompkins County, is that culverts are now too small to carry the amount of water that's coming
Right.
in our rain events.
And we are seeing some of those replacements now. We've done some in the last
Right.
few years, and I think we have a few more planned. So yeah, you're absolutely right. Okay. I thought that the graphics were pretty good. I didn't have anything in the graphics.
My only comment about the graphics was that the numbers on each graphic don't really jump out very well. Figure 1, I mean, it's buried in the text below the graphic. And if
Okay.
you're looking at the
Right here.
figure, because there's
Okay.
a reference in the text to figure 1.
Yes,
So then
to
you
the-
scroll to try to find the figures. And I just think those numbers could be a little more obvious, maybe bold. I don't know.
Yes.
I was having trouble finding them.
I think that I just want to make sure I can do a new comment from here. Yeah, there it is.
It's
Okay.
so minor. It's just a part of.
No,
just
no, I agree. That's a
wayfinding through the document.
Okay.
All right.
okay. Inventory of resources. Resources, yes. I didn't find anything here. I'm going to say also, I'm going to make another comment up here because I did notice this. these are sometimes hard to spot, that particular font.
Yeah,
Oh, well, if
Let's-
you're looking for style comments on the document, I mean, I like full justified.
I can go back to the top and I will make that comment. Just give me a second. I'll finish this and I'll come back to this after we do that comment. Let me go back to the top. Just put it in the first paragraph. Let's see.
Ronnie, I have a very, very minor comment. I'm not gonna interfere too much in this process. But when Rachel is identified where you just were, there's just a missing comma after her title. And I'm sorry to be, they don't want me to be that nitpicky about it or what. Climate Smart Communities Coordinator, comma, Cornell Cooperative Extension is about the fourth line down. Or of Cornell Cooperative Extension or something like that.
Let me show. There we go. I inserted it there and it'll show with the revision bar.
And do you want me, if I see little things like that, do you want me to say anything or just let it go?
Sure.
Because
No,
okay.
I have no problem with that at all while we're going
Okay.
through it. I don't think it's going to take us very long. Okay. And the reason I brought this comment up is for what some of my comments below. Because the first time I read through this document, I completely blew through them. Something else. Water. Let's see. And I don't, this is a live link within this document. I'm going to put a note on this. That way people can click on those and go directly to their browser and open that window. And you can, sometimes the PDFs take out the live link and just leave in the text. So we just wanted to confirm that they still work. Getting pretty close to my comments that I made further down. Yeah. See, I completely missed these two sections, subsections, and they were incomplete. I guess I should really say,
Who's supplying the information about a critical environmental area? I don't think there are any. And it says designated by the town, or does that mean the village?
The town, because I think the town was going through their natural resource inventory preparation too. And if we know of any, but if there's some identified in the town that we are unaware of, I think she was going to double check. That was Rachel. And the rare plant and animal communities, I mean, I guess if we know of some, we can, it's the same thing. We can add some, or we can just, I guess, drop this if we don't think there are any.
I think it's a little redundant because those show up in the unique natural areas, if there are any.
Well, I think, Carol, Lynn, that critical environmental areas would be different from unique natural areas. In
Oh,
that
they are.
critical, and this would be places that are fragile and need to be protected because of the fragility, not
critical
because they're.
environmental areas, I think are DEC designations, if I'm not
Right.
mistaken.
I was thinking they would be either state or federal.
Yeah, because it's
designations.
always on our short form seeker review.
Right.
You know, we always have to say, does this impact a critical environmental area? And we never have any. At least not since I've been involved with the village.
Well, we have the steep slope area, and then on the lake, they had that one rare plant situation with the tram.
I think if anyone came to look for rare plants again on our steep slopes, they're not going to find them. I think they.
Yes, but they were required when they did the tram to have somebody come in.
No, yeah, you have to look, but you know, unfortunately, the things that appeared in the first UNA surveys, which were more than 20 years ago, there were rare plants in some of these gorges, but changing habitat, I mean, changing climate and deer have really done away with a lot of them. Just sad, but you still have to review.
Okay. I can go back and check that development proposal to see if there was anything identified. And if they just questioned whether there was, or they did an inventory of their land and there was nothing there, that we would know. So I'll leave that in there.
There was a little proofreading problem right there too, where you just were.
Where I just was.
Yeah.
Okay.
Say down to the third line, publicly owned should be hyphenated. And then includes areas such as forests, agricultural fields should be plural.
Right.
And preserves and coastal.
Thank you.
There's also the Village of Lansing has 6 parks within its boundaries. Parks are public areas, plural, of land. It's got an underline in that first area. Yeah, that first sentence. There you go.
Okay. Thank you.
Oh.
And something that's kind of minor, but back where we were again. Parks are important to communities. A little down a little bit, as they have comma before as, between communities and as should be a comma.
Okay. I didn't realize we had an agricultural area in the
Well, and if you
village.
go to the very tippy top north end, do you see the little tiny bit of yellow in the corner?
Oh,
Way
up
up there?
right there.
That was a house that got an ag designation because they were building Adirondack furniture and selling it on the roadside. And somehow, because it was like a farm stand, they got an ag designation. Don't ask me how that happened. It was it was when I was on the board, I think. And it's still a holdover, but there's no ag activity going on up there as far as I can tell, and those people are long gone.
It's a small farm.
Well, I don't understand how, building Adirondack
Furniture.
and selling it off your porch equates to, I guess it's just because it's a home cottage industry and they equate that with agriculture somehow. It's very odd.
Yeah, that is very odd.
That's sort of now kind of grandfathered in, I guess, as ag land.
I could see it if you were growing your own trees and cutting them and making your, but not just assembling chairs.
Yeah.
I'm glad you pointed it out. It's so small. I didn't even see it.
It's almost an artifact.
I found this. She was supposed to give us a reference to this, and I don't know what the reference is to within that repository, or unless it's just a general repository. So I just leave that note in there. I guess we just need a formal reference in the resources and references. So major takeaways and future action plans. They're incomplete for one thing, and I wasn't sure if future actions was future actions related to their inventory or future actions related to the document of the inventory. Like, I didn't know if these were questions from her about what the process was to get this document approved. So I'm hoping that Guillermo or whoever he assigns to complete this for us can provide more information about those. And then the resources and references, she had the ABCs, and I took that to mean that all of these, once they're finished, just need to be alphabetized.
You know what's missing is the Tompkins County Natural Resources Inventory. It's not in that list. Unless I missed it. I don't see anything under Tompkins County.
Okay, let's see if it's used.
There's a lot of New York State stuff. It's mentioned right up at the beginning in the acknowledgements, but there ought to be a link too, because I believe
there should be. You're right. There should be.
Every municipality has a copy of the update, whether that's online or hard copy. They should.
All right. Let's go back down to the bottom. So we will say, let's put it at the end here.
Oh, I'm sorry. There's that inventory, but then there's also the unique natural areas inventory, which is a separate thing.
Yeah, for Tompkins County.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about. Every municipality has a copy of it with the UNAs within their own municipal borders. Our main UNAs in the village are the lake bluffs all along the lake.
Note here. Oops. I guess it's seen.
I mean, you want to take out natural resources and put in, or natural areas, unique natural areas.
Oh, areas? Oh,
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah, it's UNA.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah,
Yeah.
They
of
know you
course.
got it. There you go.
TC.
There's also just, it's not standardized whether it's U.S. or just US. You see like right
Uh,
above there.
Yeah,
Well,
that's right.
standardize that, whatever you choose.
Okay, I'll make another note of that, just as soon
And
as,
SDA, all of those abbreviations for states or US things. uh, let's see, let's go and find the first instance of that.
And even above that where it says United States Environmental Protection Agency.
Yeah.
Why
I'm
is
sure
why is it spelled out there and nowhere
spelled out,
else?
right, make sure that US is either spelled out as States or consistent.
And there are multiple listings for US EPA. And they don't follow each other. So the first one the one that lists streams, then there's Cuba Lake watershed and a bunch of stuff. And then there's US Environmental Protection Agency, surf your watershed. Just below where you are, Ronnie, that one. Right
Oh, yeah,
there.
I see.
So they should all be together. But that's.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah,
that's
they
just
need to,
housekeeping.
yeah, they need to all be alphabetized.
Right.
So that
And
they're, yes, they were just thrown in the order in which they were inserted into the document, I think. And the last step before you finish is to basically just alphabetize those. I think that's what she meant by her cryptic ABCs comment about the whole section.
Oh,
Is
sure.
to make sure
Yeah,
all of that's
alphabetize it.
correct.
But
So-
even so, I think, Lynn, were you saying like the fact that streams is listed separately from surf your watershed, healthy watersheds, they should all be in the same list? Is that something you were
No,
alluding to?
I thought that it's like when you're doing references or, references at the end of a text. And if you have more than one entry with the same name from the same source, you just put a dashed line and then you have the name of whatever it is. You know what I mean? So you don't have to spell it out over and over again. So you
Right.
have EPA and you have the first listing, then below that you have a dashed line or, a solid line that shows that's the same thing, but now you have a new entry for whatever the source is. You don't have to spell it out EPA each time, or you can do it that way. I mean, it doesn't matter.
I mean, these could also be turned into, I guess, bullet points, like so, something like that.
Yeah, they could. I mean, if there's several sources of information from the US EPA, they could all be listed under one US EPA. Don't you
Okay.
think? Because under New York State Department of Environmental Conservation, there's several listings there, all following underneath that heading.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah, like
So
there's
they
this
just
one.
combine them.
Okay, I'll make that note on here. I don't have published this one. Now I can do it now. Okay. List. References. Per source / agency under listed with so. Again, I think that was one of the last steps that she was going to do. She just didn't get around to it. So
Mhm.
whoever takes it over, we will get the final version anyway, and we'll just make sure that these things were caught. I'll save a copy of this and I'll forward it on to Guillermo and see who he assigns to it. And if they have questions, they can always call me and I can explain.
There's that section just above the references. It says major takeaways.
Yeah, that was.
We might just want to say that's a summary. I mean, don't you usually have major takeaways in a summary that, you know,
Yes,
the
and I
main
think
things that
that's
you-
why I say
Yeah.
I see what you're saying. I should just
Uh-huh.
edit that. I put that first sentence in there before I realized, okay. Excuse me for just a moment. I'll be right back.
Well, Ronnie's away. Gina, where did Rachel go?
She went to a private engineering firm that I don't know the name of.
Something local?
I think in Albany.
Oh, okay. Well, sounds like a good job.
Yeah, I think she really likes doing GIS, and I think that was GIS focused
Uh-huh.
map making.
Great.
Okay, I am back. So
Right.
I think that covers it all unless there are more comments.
No,
I would just say to standardize those headings with the capitalization. It's kind of random.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'll put that at the very top. Level.
there are a lot of different fonts.
Oh, I still got to publish that. I always forget that if you don't publish it or complete it, it takes you back to the same.
Mhm.
Standardize. Headings. Files. Slash. Wait, I don't know. Normally, a font is a different weight is a different font, but not everyone knows that. Okay. Should do save. This should be the same. I think that takes care of all the global
Mhm.
changes. Okay, is there anything else?
I think so.
Okay,
Maybe we
let's-
get another look at it after it's all been sort of rearranged.
Yes, yeah, we will get it because it will have a cover and it will be paginated and it will be, the pages will be complete pages and we won't have run
And then
overs.
I assume that there's outstanding information that has yet to be plugged into it. Is that from Guillermo? Or who is going to have it?
Well, I think he has someone who's going to take over for Rachel. He hasn't,
Okay.
he had not identified them the last I heard.
Okay.
So when we get this ready and send it in, I think at that point he'll make a decision and figure out who can fill the most holes if there are any and give it to them and then they will contact us.
Okay.
And
We are in the process of interviewing for that position.
okay, good.
Okay.
Good. I appreciate it. They're all good comments and good finds. And read through it again, and just if you find something else, then we can send in an addendum as far as revisions and so forth. But I will save this and make sure that the version that he opens or whoever opens shows all of our comments and markups, so that they'll hopefully they will understand Word, and if they don't show them, they can turn them on. But I'll just say, if you can't figure out what we're asking, just give me a call and I'll step them through it. Okay, well, that's all I have for tonight. Gina, was there anything else you needed to talk about for clean energy communities?
Just that they're working on updating it, and if you get more signups for your clean heating and cooling,
Right.
keeping track of those, because we might have tiered levels. So you get
Okay.
you get the $5,000 grant for the first 5, but you might get another grant for additional signups.
I would still like to also start kick off another public campaign to remind people also. I think that that's beneficial every 2 or 3 years, just because people might be going through an upgrade on water heaters and
Mhm.
heating systems, et cetera. So I would still like to kick that off, and I will coordinate that with everyone. See when's a good time this year to get it done, and we'll just go ahead and plan that.
So you know that there's since Heat Smart has gone away, that there's the new hub, and there will be somebody assigned to help you from the hub with the
Okay.
campaign.
Is it going to be officially called the hub?
Yeah, the hub encompasses several different positions, but
Okay.
somebody from the hub will be helping you. And
Okay.
I'm not sure exactly which. They hired several new people, so we'll be one
Okay.
of them, and they'll be reaching out about it to
Okay.
help you with the campaign, like Lisa did.
Okay.
And
I wonder if Agnes is going to do that.
Agnes is specifically about the gas line.
Oh, just the non-pipes alternative.
Yeah. And
Okay,
I
okay.
think maybe Lee Miller might be the contact person for you.
Okay.
Guillermo will get that all straightened out soon.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
I've got plenty to keep me busy until they contact me.
Can I
So-
just talk to you for 1 minute after this meeting?
Gina,
Just
is this
hang-
Gina? Hang on.
Yeah.
Okay, let me stop my share, and then I can actually see faces. Okay, yeah, that's fine. Yeah,
Okay, thanks.
good deal. If no one has anything else, we can adjourn.
Okay, thank you, Ronnie.
Okay, thanks, Carolyn.
Bye,
Thanks, Lynn.
everyone.
Bye.
Bye,
Thank you.
everyone.
Okay, Gina, let me turn off the recording.
All right.
There's no need to record what we're going to talk about. Okay, just have to stop it.